So some people have this notion that we choose our parents before we're born, where our little baby souls are looking down, waiting for the right people to jump on board with. And it makes me wonder if my son chose me. When my partner was pregnant, I was terrified. I was sure that I was way too selfish to be a mother. I was really worried that I was going to resent our unborn son, or our son, when he was born. But when she gave birth to him and I held him in my arms for the first time, I was like, I get it. I'm going to give you everything, and I'll never regret it for a moment. When my son was 2, he started childcare, and he also mysteriously started calling me by my first name. My partner twigged to what was going down, and she went into that childcare centre and explained to them that she's mummy and I'm mama, and they are to call us by our names, mummy and mama, and not by our first names. It's very important when your family is in the minority that people give you the title that recognises who you are. When my son was 3, my relationship was on the rocks. And I had to go to Sydney for work for a week, and it was the longest that I'd ever been away from him. And I came back with all of the weight of the impending doom of what was going to happen in our relationship. The day after I got home, I had my son in the bath, and with all of that anxiety behind me, I said, I've missed you so much. This is the longest I've been apart from you since you were born. Did you miss me? And he didn't miss a beat. He said, no, Mama, you're always in my heart. By the time my son was 4, my partner and I had split up, and I'd moved out. But I was living not too far away. And then one day, walking my son home to his other mother's house, he said to me, Mummy really misses me when I'm at your house. And I said, yeah, I really miss you when you're not at my house. He said, Mummy really, really misses me. Do you think Mummy misses you more than I do? Mummy said that she's my real mummy, and you're not my real mummy. I scooped my heart off the ground and said, that's interesting. What do you think about that? He paused for a moment. I think you're my real mummy and Mummy's my real mummy. I said, that's good. That's what I think too. When my son was 5, I picked him up from school one day and he had conjunctivitis. I took him to the doctor and got the eye drops, and he was terrified of the eye drops. My new girlfriend, who's a former nurse, said, I'll hold him down, you do the eye drops. But me, in my infinite wisdom, said, no, I've got this. I'm going to negotiate. I negotiated, I cajoled, I begged, and an hour later, I found myself holding him down and trying to get the eye drops, and he was shaking and squirming like a wild animal, and he yelled, if you don't let me go, I'm not going to call you Mummy anymore. I stepped back. Well, what you call me is your choice. But right now, I'm responsible for you, and I have to look after you. and I have to give you these eye drops. After I give you the eye drops, I can take you home and you never have to see me again. Not my finest moment. My son's face fell. It was a mask of grief. And as a parent, I'd always considered what he thought about me didn't really matter. You know, my job is to show up. My job is to love him. What he does is completely up to him. But in that moment, I found out how much my son loves me, because the thought of never seeing me again was devastating. I called my girlfriend in. She held him down. I did the eye drops. And my son and I were very tender with each other after that. So, I don't know if we all choose our parents, but I know that my son chose me. And the bond that we have is bigger than biology.